Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm doing another Q&A video where I take your questions from Twitter and I answer them all in this video. Now, in today's Q&A video, we've got a ton of amazing questions revolving around all the upcoming DLCs for Grand Theft Auto Online, so let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. All right, so the questions today are going to go in chronological order of what I think is coming out first versus last. You'll kind of see as we get into this. Our first question today comes from Pepsi, who says, what's the easiest way I can make some money before March 7th or 6th? So I'm assuming, Pepsi, you want to make money before the character transfer deadline, which we'll get into in a little bit, is happening in a day. It's actually happening tomorrow. And probably the best way to make money right now is taking advantage of the current event week, which is the double money NRP on stunt races. I've seen people getting $400,000 an hour, which is insane. And the stunt races are a lot of fun, so you might as well take advantage of them. However, I know we can't be on Grand Theft Auto Online all the time. And if you're looking for a way to make some money when you necessarily can't be on the game at all times, one way that I use is actually an app called App Bounty. So I'll leave a link to it in the description, as well as my discount code, which gets you like 50 free credits to start. Basically, you just download the app, play some games, earn some credits. You can turn those credits into PSN cards, Amazon cards, Xbox cards, and then you could flip those and turn them into Shark cards. And you can combine that with the things you do in Grand Theft Auto Online, like doing the stunt races or the CEO work or the biker work or stuff like that. And then when you just get some downtime for 5 or 10 minutes, you do that, and you should be good to go for whatever is going to be coming up next in Grand Theft Auto Online. As Rockstar explained, over the next couple weeks and months, we're going to be getting some pretty crazy things, and as I talked about in my video the other day, it's likely to be kind of expensive as well. So once again, I definitely recommend App Bounty. I've been working with them for a couple months now, and combine that with the other things that you already do in online, taking advantage of these 2 times event weeks, you know, heist, the CEO stuff, biker stuff. That's a pretty good way to make yourself some money, although your deadline of March 6th is pretty close, so you might have to do some grinding pretty quickly here. All right, our next question today comes from Urban, who says, will Rockstar start removing old Jin servers or slowly start shutting down old Jin after March 6th? So to answer those questions, no. The servers for Xbox 360 and PS3 are not going to be shut down. The only thing Rockstar is doing is preventing you from transferring your character to something like a PS4, an Xbox One, or a PC. So if you don't do it by the end of the day, today or tomorrow, I don't know exactly when it's happening on March 6th, your character will be stuck forever on the PS3 or Xbox 360. The servers will still work. They're likely still going to like patch the game if necessary. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 4 servers are still up, and that's been going on for like 8-9 years or something along the lines of that now. So they're not going to be shutting it down. The only thing they're doing is stopping your character from going to the current generation. All right, our next question today comes from Keith Money, who says, if the next expected DLC doesn't come out on the 14th, when do you think it will release? Well, Keith, I think that is like a surefire date for when we're going to be seeing the special vehicle races, or what Rockstar calls Cunning Stunts Special Vehicle Circuit, which is really a mouthful to say. I mean, all of it lines up to happen on the 14th. The current event week that we've got going on now ends on the 13th, which means that Rockstar would have a fresh start to release really whatever they want. A lot of people are saying it could come out in a couple days on the 7th, but that seems kind of confusing. Why would Rockstar release something in the middle of an event week? To me, that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I think the 14th is the best bet. It's in the middle of the month. I mean, would it surprise me if it wasn't on the 14th? Yes, but Rockstar have 100% confirmed that this update is going to be coming out in the month of March, so the latest you'd really have to be waiting is just an extra couple weeks or so. But I really do believe it's going to be the 14th. That's the date I've got marked on my calendar, and that's the date I'm going to be looking forward to as well for the special vehicle circuit stuff. Our next question comes from James C, who says, will there be new special vehicles added with the special vehicle DLC, or do we have to stick with what Rockstar said? So I don't think this is going to be a big DLC. I think I could be wrong, but I think this update is literally just going to unlock those 3 vehicles, the Ruiner 2000, Rocket Voltic, Blazer Aqua, into the creator, and then Rockstar is going to add these special vehicle stunt races into the game. I don't think there's going to be any new weapons or clothing or new cars. Now, I could be completely wrong, and I would love for that to happen. It would be cool if Rockstar added new special vehicles, maybe some new clothing, some other new cars to keep us occupied. But to me, I think the focus of this update is going to be about these special vehicle circuits. So I think in Rockstar's eyes, it would be kind of confusing to add other new vehicles and stuff that couldn't be used in these races. So I think it's going to be a very simple update. I don't expect much, but I think that's okay based off what they also teased, which is going to be coming out later this spring and summer, which looks to be a lot of exciting new content. But as far as this first update, no, I'm not expecting anything new, just with what Rockstar said on the Newswire. All right, so from special vehicle races to the new adversary modes and the new vehicles that Rockstar state they're going to be adding into the game, this next question comes from Legend Gamer, who says, do you think the new Jin GP1 will be the next fastest vehicle? So I obviously can't confirm, and in fact, none of us can because the car isn't in the game yet, but Rockstar described the Jin GP1 as a set of new blazing fast rides. So I'm imagining it's going to be very quick, but there's obviously lots of very fast supercars in the game, so it is going to be kind of hard to tell where Rockstar stands here and how they're going to go about doing that. There was some really quick cars that were added with import-export in the Nero Custom and the Tempesta, so I'm hoping that it is able to at least compete with these cars, because if not, it'll just be kind of thrown to the wayside, because the supercars are great, but if you can't use them to compete in races, a lot of people seem to forget about them. But I don't think that's going to be the case, and I would imagine that its speed is likely going to be attached to its price tag as well. The better performance this vehicle is, probably the higher price tag you're going to end up paying for it. But I still think that's pretty cool, and I'm very hyped for this car. All right, the next question today comes from Mad Zingu, who says, what are some of the retro classic vehicles you want to see introduced or remade in the upcoming update? Now, this is under the assumption that we're getting more than just the Turismo Classic and the Infernus Classic, which it kind of does seem as if we are. Some other great examples that I'd love to see would be the Cheetah Classic, something like the Ferrari Testarossa. That would be awesome. I think Rockstar adding the Deluxo in the game from Vice City would be incredibly cool. A Dominator Classic would be epic. I'd love to see them add something like the Cuban Hermes from Vice City as well, the Savannah from GTA San Andreas. It would also be cool if Rockstar turned maybe the Dinka Jester into the Dinka Jester Classic, which could be like the Toyota Supra from Fast and the Furious, Brian O'Connor's car. That would be extremely epic. I've got a lot of great ideas in terms of what Rockstar can do, but right now we have so little information that we really just have to make best guesses as to what it could be. The only classic vehicles could be the Turismo and the Infernus, or there could be like 6 or 7 or 8 more. We really don't know at this point, and we don't know the scale and the size of this update. We just know it's going to include some classic cars and some new vehicles like the Jin GP1 supercar. All right, so the next set of questions are all going to be about the Gunrunning military update. It seems like this is the one you guys wanted to talk about the most. This first one, it comes from Weasel Style, who says, do you think the military DLC would have its own office, or would it be in the CEO office? What I think he's trying to get out here is, will the military stuff be connected to the CEO system, or will it be its own individual thing? So I could see it as all three. I could see it as attached to the CEO system. I could see it attached to the MC biker stuff, but most likely I could see it being its own thing. Because military is so different from the biker stuff and the CEO stuff, I think starting your own militia and having it as its own kind of third group would be super cool. Now, I've got lots of ideas for how that could work, whether you're working with Merryweather or whether you're just working under the kind of Fort Zancudo guidance of the army base there. There's lots of things you could do, but my best guess is that it's going to be completely separate from the CEO system and the biker stuff. However, if it was to be attached to one or the other, I think it's more closely related to bikers because it's more grungy, the dealing with importing and exporting of weapons and whatnot, but I still hope that it's its own individual thing. Our next question comes from Alu Kolu, says, would the military DLC include a mod shop for Hydras or jets? So what he's basically asking is, will there be Pegasus style customization? And I sure hope so. We saw a little bit of that with import-export, how you could, customize the Ruiner 2000 and the Rocket Voltic. I hope that there is at least similar customization for jets and these military style vehicles, whether you want to add a military style livery or a different style camo or a different color, or add armor to your jets or something like that, or maybe flares. I hope that there's at least a little bit of customization here, because it does seem as if we're going to be getting a lot of war stock vehicles, and if we can't do anything to them other than buy them and use them, I think that might be a little bit disappointing. Our next question comes from GTA Princess, who says, do you think there will be military clothes and new hairstyles added with the military DLC, or just the vehicles? There's definitely going to be clothing, and I would love some new military style haircuts. That would be so awesome for both girls and guys. I don't think Rockstar is just going to add vehicles. Just like with import-export, we got clothing. Just like with bikers, we got some new haircuts too. So I definitely imagine there's going to be lots of stuff like that, and not just guns and vehicles. Even though it is is, of course, a military DLC. I think Rockstar is going to do lots of clothing and stuff like that, so I don't think you have to worry about that right there. We've got another question from James C, who says, will Rockstar have to build a bigger ammo store if there's going to be new weapons in the military update? James, they've actually started updating the game in preparation for this. So a couple weeks ago, FunMW2 reported that Rockstar changed the core files of the game in relationship to the ammunition store, and they did the same thing when they updated the game with Lowriders Customs Classics when they changed the layout of the store. So I don't think they're going to have to build, if you can see my air quotes, a bigger store. I think they're just going to have to change the layout of how the weapons work on the wall or in the shelves, or, you know, just how they're displayed in the ammunition store itself. All right, up next we have a question from Snub, who says, do you think that the gun running update will be the best money-making method in the game? I'm sure it will be on par with what you can do from bikers to the CEO selling of crates to the importing and exporting of cars. I'm sure that it's just going to be a little bit different styled, and that you might like it more than some of your friends, or your friends might like it a little bit more than you. It's all going to depend on how it works. Do I think it's going to be supremely better than all the others? No, I don't think so, but I definitely think it'll be on the level of where you can make pretty good money. It's just going to be interesting to see what sort of investment you have to make in order to get those militia operations up and running. Moving on, our next question comes from Callum, who says, do you think the gun running DLC will be the biggest update we've seen in Grand Theft Auto Online? I definitely think so. Rockstar described it as a massive update. The last time they used that wording was with import-export, which was definitely like the biggest update in online. So if it's anything on par, it's most definitely going to be close to import-export. I would imagine it would be bigger, just because Rockstar has given us so much time to prepare for something like this. I mean, they didn't even give us this long of a heads up for import-export. So yeah, I definitely think it's probably going to be the biggest update into Grand Theft Auto Online. And then finally, last but not least today, we have a question from Wolfgang, who says, with all the new information recently released, do you personally still think Grand Theft Auto Online updates will be ending in 2017? And my answer to that is, yeah, I think that this gun running update is going to be the last big hurrah for online, especially if it's released during the summer. Because right now, Red Dead Redemption 2 is still slated to come out in fall of 2017. So if that happens, you'd think Rockstar would want to shift their focus to that. So it definitely looks as if this gun running thing could be the last big hurrah for us in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, do I want that to be the case? Of course not. I'd love to see Grand Theft Auto Online continue to get updates and expansions and DLCs, but I do think that this is gearing towards the end. Although if this is the end, Rockstar just providing us with more cars and game modes and vehicles and updates and features. So I think it's still a good time to be a fan of Grand Theft Auto Online, and I think we've still got a lot of amazing content left for us to come this year. Even if it is the end, I'm still going to be very happy. But anyways, that's all the questions that I'm going to be answering in this week's Q&A video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. As always, if you want to be featured in the next one, all you got to do is go down in the description, follow me on Twitter, and use the hashtag AskBoss whenever I'm looking for Q&A questions, and you might find yourself featured in the next one. If you did go and enjoy the video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.